When it comes to stealth games, some of the best would be Dishonored, The Phantom Pain, Mark of the Ninja, and even some of the stealth segments from the Batman Arkham games. But one franchise that's not noticed as much as other games like Call of Duty or GTA is Hitman. Now, I'm not saying that Hitman isn't a popular series, but to put it into perspective, within the first 2 months of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the game reached a total of 60 million people, whereas 2016's Hitman only crossed 5 million players multiple months after launch. Now, don't get me wrong, 5 million players is still a lot of people, but to put it into perspective with some of the most popular game titles, it wasn't that big. I'm your host, Madlad, and today we're going to be going over one of the most underrated video game franchises of all time. Now, let's get to it. Now, on the off chance that you have no idea what the Hitman franchise is, let me summarize it for you. Hitman is a stealth video game series developed by Danish developer IO Interactive, previously published by Eidos Interactive and Square Enix. The game allows the player to step into an immersive world and eliminate the target as the world's greatest and most creative assassin. The Hitman franchise began with Hitman Codename 47, which released on the 21st of November 2000. The game was developed by IO Interactive and introduced the world's greatest assassin, Agent 47. To briefly describe the plot, 47 wakes up strapped to a bed in a padded room, in hospital garb. A disembodied voice over a loudspeaker releases him and subjects him to a series of obstacle courses where he is instructed in firearms and murder techniques. 47 is eventually led to a pair of guard whom he murders to escape captivity. The story then picks up a year later, rejoining 47 as a professional assassin in the employ of the International Contract Agency, known as the ICA. 47 is sent around the globe on a series of missions to eliminate 4 global criminal masterminds, all while trying to unravel the secret behind his origin. This is the game that would eventually lead to brilliant titles like Hitman Blood Money and Hitman 1 and 2. Just like its newest entries, the game rewards the most cost-effective methods to complete a mission and giving penalties for killing civilians or getting spotted by witnesses. Unfortunately, many of the mechanics feel antiquated by today's gamers' standards, making the game feel unpolished as a result. This Hitman game did lay the groundwork for the future games, so it's definitely not the worst. Now, there were multiple other Hitman games that released after that, but I'm only going to go over the best and most important of the series. So let's just skip right over to Hitman Blood Money. Blood Money was released in 2006 and was considered one of the best of the entire franchise. Blood Money had some of the best maps as well as introducing some of the best mechanics to the games. In Hitman Blood Money, the protagonist Agent 47 must kill characters to complete missions. Armed guards, security checkpoints, witnesses and other obstacles attempt to prohibit Agent 47's success. The player guides Agent 47 through the game's levels from a third-person perspective. A map showing each topographical area and the location of targets and characters assist the player. To complete his mission, Agent 47 uses methods to eliminate targets, regardless of witnesses or violence to bystanders. Blood Money penalizes players for making too much noise or being too violent. Now I'm going to quickly mention both the good and bad about Hitman Blood Money. The good is that it's an open-ended stealth action gameplay which lets you sneak or run and gun. The beautifully crafted mission set pieces seem appropriately big and complex. There's a large variety of realistic weapons, but they're not the only way to do the job, and there's a good replay value for a single player only game. The bad is that the non-playable characters, also known as the NPCs, sometimes behave unrealistically, especially in the combat. And another bad thing is that many of the series' minor cosmetic problems were not fixed. Now, Blood Money was an incredibly important game for the Hitman franchise and still holds up as a great game today. Moving on to one of the big titles with 2016's Hitman. Hitman is a 2016 stealth video game that was developed by IO Interactive and was released episodically for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One from March to October 2016. Hitman 2016 was a complete reboot of the franchise, and this, later on, seemed to be a great choice as this game felt like a real breath of fresh air. Hitman brought a rich new campaign which would eventually live through to a sequel. Other than ICA Facility Level, which serves as the prologue and tutorial to the game, Hitman features 6 locations, including Paris, France, the fictional town of Sapienza, Italy, Marrakesh, Morocco, Bangkok, Thailand, Colorado, United States, and Hokkaido, Japan. If you would like to read a complete recap of the story of this game, I'll leave a link for the website which explains the entire story so far. Moving on from Hitman 2016 to the most recent installment in the series, Hitman 2. Hitman 2 is a stealth video game developed by IO Interactive and published by Warner Bros. The game is available for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. It is the 7th major installment in the Hitman video game series, and is the sequel to the 2016 game Hitman. The story picks up right where the last one left off. While Hitman 2 might not have as many missions as earlier Hitman games, the levels it does have are pretty expansive. Right now there are a total of 6 proper maps in the game: Hawke's Bay, Miami, Santa Fortuna, Mumbai, Whittleton Creek, and the Isle of Sgale, as well as multiple DLC maps such as New York and Maldives. Hitman 2 is the best of all Hitman games in my personal opinion, and the story will come to an end with the upcoming 2020 title Hitman 3. Hitman 3 will be releasing on the 21st of January and will see the end of the 3-part trilogy. I've come to love the Hitman franchise and cannot wait to see what they will be doing with Hitman 3. Also, Hitman 2016 is actually free right now on the Epic Games Store, so I highly recommend checking that out, but yeah. Now that's going to be it for today. If you enjoyed or found this video helpful, please leave a like and maybe even consider subscribing. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.